Hello and welcome. My name is DW and this is my little slice of the internet I like to call Dub's Beauty Diary. Today we are ranking all of the palettes that I tried this year. There's not very many new palettes here. I have used most of these before, but these are just the palettes that I actually physically used this year. If you've watched my previous video, we ranked them in order of usage, and now we're going to rank them in order of my favorite. So we'll start at the bottom, the least favorite, and we'll work my way up to my tops of 2023. So in my last video, I had 43 palettes that I used this year, but I had decluttered a lot of those. So now I only have 34 that we're going to be ranking today. Let's start with number 34. So that is, you'll never believe this, Mini Zendo. It's a beautiful palette, don't get me wrong, but I am so sick of using this. It is so basic and so, it's just not me. But I kind of want to pan this shade just so that the whole thing has pan. I don't know. Number 34, Natasha Denona Mini Zendo. 33, the Odenzai Alpha 2 Mini Sky palette. It's very pretty, but like there's only 1 or 2 looks that you can make out of this palette. I don't know. Number 33. 32, Poison Ivy palette by Milan Ro. This was in collaborations with Doodles by the Bunny. I think that's her name. And this is fairly new. I've only used it one time. I wasn't too impressed though. Like, it's a green palette. I don't know, there's other green palettes I like. This palette's on my shopping block, so we'll see if I end up keeping it or decluttering it. 31, Huda Emerald Obsessions. Beautiful palette. Love these little obsession palettes, except for this one. It's just not the greens I'm into. I'm into more of these greens, but I like this palette better. I don't know. There's another green palette that's way up higher on my list. A couple of them actually. I love green. So that's this one. Number 30, Nomad Tokyo. This is their pastel palette. It's a good companion palette, but not a standalone. Duochromes are nice. This shade is nice, but it's in like literally every palette. Like I think it's even in, yeah, it's in this Elva palette. See, it's in a Jeffree Star palette I have too. Number 30. 29, Urban Decay Born to Run. This is also on my chopping block. It's pretty. There's lots of versatile shades, but like every look that I do with this palette, it just comes out like blah. So this is, yeah, on the chopping block. Hopefully we decide whether we keep that or not. 29, Natasha Denona Love. I am not like a huge fan of red eyeshadow, or pinks for that matter. This purple shade that I really like the color of is a cream to powder, so it's like, I don't know, it's just kind of blah. And I just covered up the pan I had in there. Cool. Super cool. Yeah, I don't know. 29. 28 is In Mel's Memory Bundle. I don't know why people gag over Sydney Grace. The mattes are fine, but like so are literally every other brand. The shimmers aren't very shimmery. It's an okay palette. I like the tones. What are we at now? 26, Patrick Ta, Major Dimensions. I know a lot of people have had problems with his brand. I like the shimmers, they're nice for inner corner. I like the mattes, they're blendable. I don't really use the creams all too much. Sometimes for liner. Nothing to write home about. Now I just forgot the number again. Okay, number 25, Urban Decay Wild Greens. They're soft, easy, blendable. That's just it. It's nothing exciting. 24, Blend Bunny Surge. And sorry to disappoint everyone who loves these palettes, but I just don't see it. I mean, it's a nice palette, don't get me wrong, but the only time I used it was for an all matte look, and I'm not like real into that, so I just kind of have a bad taste. I'm kind of jazzed to try these neons and the shimmers, but we'll see. We will see. 23, Melt Millennial Pinks. Nothing really exciting. I don't like these shades right here, but these pinks are really nice, very pigmented, blendable. The shimmers don't hurt my eyes like some of Melt's shimmers do. Mary Jane was just impossible for me to use. This has nice medium tones. It's a good palette. Number 22. This palette has my all-time favorite shade of green in it, and I love to use it. I've used it every time I've used this palette. Just a pastel palette. The shimmers are really nice. I don't know, I need to use it more to get it up higher. 21, The Deuce by Juvia's. This one is all about the color story. It's hard to put these colors together, but this pink, this mint, and this gray silver is like my literal favorite color story. When I worked at the nursing home in the laundry department, there was a comforter that had, it was like a bedspread, and it had like pink flowers with that mint green leaves, and then it was like gray accents, and I was obsessed with it, and that is exactly what this palette reminds me of. Like, take out that middle bright shade and it's perfect, but that one just kind of throws it off a little. I don't know. 21. Number 20, the Sapphire Obsessions. I love this palette. It's so pretty, easy to use, very blendable, but a lot of the shimmers and the like these two blues are fairly similar. These two shimmers are fairly similar. This shimmer looks exactly like this. This shimmer looks exactly like this. I don't know. Then we could even like this and this look the same. It's a nice blue palette though. Number 19 is the palette I'm wearing today, Subculture. It's a nice color story. It also reminds me of Jeffree Star Androgyny and ColourPop's At First Sight, and a little bit of the Heather Austin Dept collab. So this one is on my chopping block. I like the looks I get out of it. It's just a little too deep. I don't know, we'll see. Number 19. Number 18, Sigma Alice in Wonderland. It's easy to pair these in a look, like these two, 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 so on. But like, other than that, like, okay, I guess you could do like this teal and this green. You could do like this pink and this brown, maybe some yellow. It's hard to think of looks with this palette unless I'm going monochromatic. So that is why it ranks number 18. Kaleidos Flower Punk is number 17. I lusted over this for so long, and then I finally got it on a resale site. Casualty, I didn't use all that shade, But yeah, like I said, I like the mints with the pinks. These acid greens are interesting. There's not a lot of shimmers in this palette. I don't really know why I needed this. Probably because I couldn't have it. Yeah, so this is number 17. Number 16 is Barbie Glam Light. These shades are so pretty. Such a pretty palette. Easy to come up with looks, but there's no light shades. Like, even the shimmers are mid-tone to dark. And I like light to mid-tone for my eyeshadow. So that is why that's number 16. Number 15, Earthy by Beauty Bay. Green. Look at the greens. So many different shades. It's just perfect. It literally, I love it. '14 is Huda Mercury Retrograde. It's just a stunning color story. I can't wait to play with this more. I only used it once, but I can see so many looks with it. Like, you can even break it up into 9 pans, like cool toned, warm toned. Ah, I'm so excited. Number 13. This palette made me fall in love with orange. And it's literally the only orange palette I'm ever going to own now. I did have the Jeffree Star Pricked palette, but I never used that, and I've since decluttered it because I don't need to. I don't need it because I got this. Number 12 is the Avocado Toast. Now this is the perfect green palette. It's got deep greens, mid-tones, and light. Plus it's got this yellow, which is great for transition. It's got the pink if you want to go a little warmer. Very versatile palette. Perfect. Love this palette. Number 11. I think I ranked this so high because I was so surprised by its quality and like versatility. I mean, a lot of the shades are very similar, but this palette, this Buon Fresco, this mauve color, stunning. The Tempera, I love a lid setting shade. The shimmers are shimmy. I mean, they're not like pow, but they're very metallic. So now we are on to top 10 palettes. Okay, so number 10. We're gonna give it to Huda Amethyst. I love this palette. Like, look, there's that shade again. Or is it more like this? Either way, that shades we talked about is in every palette with purples. Anyway, this is so nice. We've got the lighter tones to blend out. We can change it to a cool purple here. We've got this deep purple here. Plus we've got the inner corner. It's purple palette. Love it. Number 9. BH Blueberry Muffin. Just like the Avocado Toast palette, this is so versatile. We get the darker shades, mid-toned, and then the light. I like this one a little bit more than the Avocado Toast, not because I like blue more than green. I definitely like green more than blue, but this has got the toppery shades and the inner corner shades that I love in a palette. Number 8. Pat McGrath Blitz Astro Quad in Nocturnal Nirvana. Even after using this so many times, even after hitting pan in all 4 of these shades, I still love this palette. Love it enough to rank it a number 8 through my whole year. It's obviously a companion palette because these are shimmers and duochromes, but it's still wonderful. Number 7. Yeah, number 7. Melt Amore Mariposas. Seriously, underrated gem. So these shades are so pigmented, they're so beautiful. Very nice color story in my opinion. I love the rose, so like a green row, a beige row, a maroon row, a deep purpley pink row. Like, it's perfect. I love this palette. Number 7. Number 6 is an oldie but a goodie in my opinion, and that is Too Faced. Like, this is such childish packaging. It's even like puffy. But Too Faced Life's a Festival. This was one of my very first palettes. It has tons of duochromes. There's that shade. Doesn't smell off. Oh, I love this palette. Number 6. Top 5, everyone. Top 5. Can you guess what my top 5 are? Can you guess what my favorite palette of 2023 is? Okay, so number 5 is Rose Quartz by Huda. This was new this year to me, and I hit 5 pans. Stunning palette. It lives up to the hype. Definitely. If this is a color story that you like, 10 out of 10 recommend. I got kind of sick of it towards the end of my thing just because it's pretty neutral, but incorporating it in with other palettes worked really well. So number 5. Number 4, Tati. This palette is expired. Yeah, it definitely is, but this is my number 4. I've got 2 pans in the glitters. This is just so easy to use. Like, if you need anything, just open this palette and it's there. It'll help you out. Very great companion palette in my opinion. Top 3. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. Okay, top 3. Number 3, Kaleidos, Just See Me City. This is my favorite neutral palette. Look at those duochromes, both of them. They're just stunning. And the mattes, perfect. Like these 2 mattes and these 2 mattes together. Then you could pick either shimmer for the, it's just perfect. It's the best neutral palette. And quite literally the only one I need. So, I mean, I've got others, obviously, like the Tati palette, but this one. I'm so sad that they discontinued these like futurism palettes. Anyway, number 2. This was also a new palette this year, but it has quickly become one of my favorites, and that is the Cosmos. So pretty. Like, just look at it. It's so pretty. The mattes are just beautiful and buttery. I don't like it when people say buttery, but they're so smooth, like they melt into your skin. And like the only shade that I don't really particularly like is this one, but I've used it as a liner and it looks great. The toppers, the shimmers, yeah. Number 2, it's a beautiful palette. My favorite shades in this palette are Kesar, this green peach flip, and then Sun, which is this pink peach flip. Just great. Number 2, Number one. Did anyone guess it? Because I literally tell everyone it's my favorite palette in history. That is Urban Decay Stone Vibes. I'm so sorry if you missed out on this. My brush still has the plastic on it. That's funny. Oh, I love this palette. Look at all those dips. Dips. Making dents. I got a pan in this lid setting shade. Like, literally, it's perfect. It's got all of your mattes that you could ever possibly need. And then all of these beautiful duochromes. My favorite in this palette is Tiger's Eye. And then I also like Opal Aura next to it. I mean, I like them all, but those would be my top favorites. And that is my number one palette of 2023. Did you guess that? Because you probably should have if you know me at all. Anyway, with that being said, we will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.